Some people spend a lot of time thinking about what they want to do, but rarely take the first step. They have ideas, goals, plans, things they genuinely want to achieve. Yet somehow, days turn into weeks, weeks turn into months, and the starting point never seems to arrive. From the outside, it can look like laziness, a lack of ambition, or a lack of discipline. But psychology suggests something deeper. Because in many cases, the problem isn't that people don't want success. The problem is that starting feels harder than it should. Today, we're exploring the psychology of people who struggle to start, and why the first step is often the most difficult part of the entire process. 1. They wait until they feel ready. Many people believe they need the right mindset before taking action. More confidence, more motivation, more certainty. They tell themselves, I'll start when I feel ready. But readiness is often misunderstood. Because confidence rarely appears before action. It usually appears after action. The longer someone waits for the perfect moment, the longer they remain stuck at the starting line. And eventually, waiting begins to feel more comfortable than beginning. 2. The goal feels bigger than it really is. When people think about a goal, they often focus on the entire journey at once. The finished business, the completed project, the skill they want to master, the transformation they want to achieve. The problem is that the brain sees the enormous distance between where they are and where they want to be. And that distance can feel overwhelming. As a result, starting becomes emotionally difficult, not because the first step is impossible, but because the destination feels too large. 3. They fear doing it wrong. For some people, the biggest obstacle isn't effort. It's the possibility of making mistakes. They want the perfect plan, the perfect timing, the perfect decision. So they spend more time preparing than doing, researching, planning, organizing, thinking, because preparation feels safer than execution. The challenge is that progress rarely comes from getting everything right. It comes from learning while moving forward. 4. They mistake thinking for progress. The mind can create a powerful illusion. Thinking about a goal feels productive. Imagining success feels productive. Planning feels productive. And all of these things have value. But none of them move reality forward on their own. Many people become mentally busy without becoming physically active. They spend so much time inside their thoughts that action never arrives. And eventually, the idea of progress replaces actual progress. 5. They focus too much on the outcome. When people become obsessed with results, starting can feel intimidating. They immediately think about success, failure, judgment, expectations, everything that might happen months or years from now. But the more attention they place on the outcome, the more pressure they create. People who consistently start things tend to focus differently. They focus on the next step, not the entire journey. Because action becomes easier when the mind is dealing with today's task instead of tomorrow's uncertainty. Most people think motivation creates action, but often, action creates motivation. The hardest part of almost any goal isn't the middle, and it isn't the end. It's the beginning. Because once movement starts, clarity improves, confidence grows, momentum builds. The people who achieve the most aren't always the most talented. They're often the ones who learn how to begin before they feel completely ready. Because waiting for the perfect moment can take a lifetime. And sometimes, the first imperfect step changes everything.